Hello. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Hello, everyone. We'll wave to the people coming in. This is such an amazing project. Thank you. Okay, I guess we'll get started now. Take that away. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Always Keep Ice in Your Pocket presentation. My name is Brooke, and today we're going to be doing a live demonstration about how to fill out the MICE, the Medical Information Card for Emergency, and how to fill out the Medical ID feature on an iPhone and on an Android phone. So helping us today is Miss Holly Hobby. There she is. We're going to be using her as our subject for the mice and for the two cell phones. So the first thing we got to do is get our mice. I have two here, so one for her and one for her to give to her friend and pay it forward so you're all safe during if you ever become incapacitated. So the first thing we got to do is we got to fill out her name. So her name is Holly Hobby. I'm going to write that nice and big and clear. There it is, Holly Hobby. The next up is her DOB. So we're going to write her birthday here. I'll make one up. We're going to be making a lot of stuff up on this card because she's just a doll. So we'll just say January 1st, 2000. Next up is her address. So Holly Hobby has a nice hat on, as you can see here. So we'll say she lives on 12 Hatch Street in Hattown. We'll just say New York. It's easiest. Then the zip code, we'll say 12345. So that's Holly's address. The next up are her emergency contacts. So it's better to write more than one contact just in case you and one of your emergency contacts, if you're both in an accident together, then there's no really, the EMT is going to call the person that's with you if you only have the one contact. So we're going to write two. We'll write Mom, Hobby, and then that's her phone number can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 9. So that's going to be Holly Hobbie's first emergency contact. Her second one can be Dad Hobbie. So we'll make his phone number be 998 765. There shouldn't be a dash there. 3, 2, 1, 1. So now she has her 2 emergency contacts filled out. And the next thing to do is fill out her healthcare provider's name and phone number. So we can just write Dr. Hobbie. And then their phone number can be 112 233 445. So now she has the front side of the card filled out. As you can see, it's all written in very legible handwriting. So whoever finds this in her wallet can see and be like, oh, Holly Hobbie, that's her birthday, that's where she lives. So you want to make sure that when you're filling out your mice, it's legible and it's not like all like messy. So now we're going to flip to the other side, which has the more medical information. So there's less information on this side, but there are more lines for you to write on, just in case you have a lot of allergies or medical conditions or medications. So we're going to look at Holly Hobbie's known allergies. So we'll say that Holly Hobbie is allergic to penicillin, bees, and peanuts. So she's got a couple allergies. The next up are her known medical conditions. And I don't know if you could see, but right now she's not really sitting up straight. So we'll say she has scoliosis. And right now she's currently not taking any medications, so we'll just write none. So if Holly Hobbie didn't have any allergies or medical conditions, then she would write none known instead of just leaving the whole thing blank. So we'll write none known. Put it in parentheses just so you make sure it's either one. Just so the emergency worker who looks at this knows you just didn't skip over this side completely and just is aware, oh, she doesn't have any known medical conditions. And the same goes for allergies too. So now Holly Hobbie has her mice card filled out. You can see the front side, the back side. So now we're going to put it in her wallet. So this is her pink wallet. Open it, and we're going to put it in one of these slots right here. So we're going to put it in this one. And as you can see, the bold medical information card for emergency phrase is face up and it's in bold. So if you're an emergency worker and you're like, oh, here's her wallet, boom, right there, in bold. And it's also on the side, so in case you have a wallet where the slots are like this, you could still see it peeking up over there. And it's also on the other side too, in case you want to put it in this way. So now we're going to look at how to input the medical ID feature on an Android and an iPhone. So first let's start with an iPhone. So there are a bunch of different types of Apple iPhones, and on the website that's in the bio for this account, there's 3 different sets of instructions for iPhones, because there's just so many iPhones and Apple keeps changing how to use the medical ID feature on all of their new phones. So this is a 6. Yeah, this is just a 6. So it's one of the older phones. So to do this, to set up the medical ID, we're going to open it. And as you can see right now, there is an emergency tab. So if we click that, there's the medical ID tab there because it was previously filled out on this phone, but we're just going to refill it now. There's nothing there right now, it's just blank. But that's how you would find it. So I'll just type in the passcode. And now we're going to find the health app. So if you're looking through your phone right now and can't find the health app, it's okay. You could just swipe down and then type in health. And there it is. The little icon shows up. So if you want to see what the icon looks like, it's that like red heart in front of the white background. So we'll click on health. And so on the older phones, the medical ID tab is on the bottom, but in some of the newer phones, it's under this icon in the top right. So if you have a newer phone, you'd open the health app and then tap the icon in the top right, and then the second drop down says medical ID. But on this old phone, we're going to click the medical ID, edit, and you want to make sure show when locked is green. Because if it's not green, then the medical ID tab in the bottom left that I showed you when you were unlocking the phone will not show up. So you want to make sure it's green so the medical ID shows up on your phone when it's locked. So here we got Holly Hobby again. We're going to fill out the medical ID feature for her. So we'll say her name is Holly Hobby. We'll take a picture of her right now. There it is. Her date of birth, we said, was January 1st, 2000. We said that her medical condition was scoliosis. She has no medical notes. She does have a couple allergies, so we're going to put in penicillin, bees, and peanuts. She's not on any medication, so we're going to leave it when it says none. And we don't really need to input her blood type just in case, because if she did get into an emergency, the emergency workers will give her the universal blood O negative, so we can just leave that blank. But the important thing to add are her emergency contacts. So on this phone, Mom Hobby and Dad Hobby aren't on as listed as contacts, but you would click this and then it would bring you to like the list of your contacts. You would click on the phone number you want to add for the person, and then it asks you for your relationship with that person. So is it your mother, your father, daughter, child, spouse? And then once you're done, you scroll back up, you review it to make sure everything is good, and then you press done. And there it is. So now, if this phone was locked, and if it's there, anyone can pick it up, and when they try to unlock it, they tap on emergency in the bottom left, and then they can tap on medical ID in the bottom left, and there it is. That's everything we just filled out. So that's how you do it on an iPhone. Next, we're going to look about how to do the medical ID on an Android phone. So there's the Android phone right there. I'll unlock it now. So they don't have a health app, so we need to do it through settings. So we go to settings, and this is the top of settings. We'll scroll down to system, and then we're going to press about phone. And then you can see there it says emergency information. And it brings you to this tab that you could fill out. So this is your medical information. So we'll fill this out again. We'll tap clear all. Yep, we'll tap edit information. Her name is Holly Hobby. Her address, we said that's 12 Hatch Street in Hattown, New York. the zip code 12345. We could leave her blood type blank. Her allergies, we said that her allergies are penicillin, bees, and peanuts. She's not on any medication, so we'll just write none. And she doesn't have any medical notes there, so now it saves automatically. So you're just going to click the tab on the left. And now for emergency contacts, same thing. Once you click this, it'll give you a list of all your contacts. You choose on the one you want to set as your emergency contact, and then it asks for your relationship with them. And once you're done, then you just go back, and it's done. So now to access it, when you go to swipe up to enter your passcode, you could see emergency is on the bottom. You tap emergency, and then on the top, there's this big black bar that says emergency information. So tap that, and it wants you to tap it again to open it, and there it is. You can see Holly Hobby is there. So that's how to input the medical ID on an Android phone. So I see we have one question in chat. When filling out my MICE, should I list family members' names or relationships, Mom or Joanne? Yeah, you can definitely add Joanne, last name, parentheses, Mom, and then their phone number. I just wrote a Mom and Dad Hobby on here because I don't know Holly Hobby's parents' names. But you can definitely do that, as long as you still have space and it's legible. Okay, so I guess that's going to be the end. Thank you all for coming. I hope you all learned something. You can download your own MICE card from the website that's in the bio of this account. And make sure to pass this information on to your family members, your friends, coworkers, peers, because it's really important information and we want to make sure everyone is prepared in case of emergency. So I hope you all have a good night.